he suddenly realized that the person he'd been chatting with online was actually his long-dead father.
But you already died.
What are you talking about?
The Buxton fire.
At first, when he learned that the stranger lived in the same district and on the same street, he thought it was just a coincidence, until he heard the childhood nickname his father used to call him.
Hey, little chief. You alright?
What'd you just say?
I said sorry about that. My kid just came in.
You call your son Little Chief?
That instantly sparked a bold suspicion in John's mind, so he decided to ask the other person's name.
Frank Sullivan.
And it was his father's name.
My name is John Francis Sullivan. I live at 343 42nd Avenue, where I lived my whole life.
Bullshit.
My father's name is Francis Patrick Sullivan. He was a firefighter.
John's words clearly startled the man, and when he nervously dropped his cigarette onto the table, it completely confirmed John's suspicion.
Bitch.
What's going on?
Nothing's going on.
Oh my God. You burnt the desk. I can see it.
John suddenly remembered that his father, a firefighter, had died in a rescue mission 30 years ago. If he could somehow use this old radio to save his father back then, maybe their family could be reunited.
The Buxton fire.
Oh, yeah? And when did that happen? 30 years ago?
October 12th, 1969.
Tomorrow. You're telling me look, I ain't dying in no fire tomorrow or any other day. You got that?
Listen, tomorrow hasn't happened.
That's Terry. It hasn't happened. It ain't gonna happen.
No, you gotta
It ain't
listen to
gonna
me.
happen.
It was an abandoned warehouse. You went with your instincts. But if
I'm
you'd just
warning
gone
you.
the other way, listen to me. If you'd just gone the other way, you would have made it.
Hello?
Just then, the radio connection abruptly cut off. But that brief conversation had stirred something deep within both father and son. Sure enough, the next day the fire department received a call. The location was the very same abandoned warehouse John had mentioned the night before.
We have a 3 and 2 response, ladder 93. Your first due, box 280, is reported to be an abandoned warehouse at the foot of Water Street and 3rd.
Frank couldn't help but worry whether he was truly destined to die in that fire. His face was full of unease on the way to the scene. After a brief inspection at the scene, everyone was just starting to feel relieved that no one had been hurt when... They heard from a woman that her sister was still trapped inside the building. At that moment, Frank noticed the word Bastogne written on the wall.
The Buxton fire.
But he still chose to rush into the burning building to save her. Soon, he found the unconscious girl, but just as he was about to use the ladder to evacuate.
What the hell is going on?
Frank, the ladder's jammed! The ladder's jammed, Frank! You gotta find another way out!
Forced to look for another way out. But just as he hesitated over which way to go, he suddenly remembered what John had said the night before.
If you'd just gone the other way, you would have made it.
He decided to take what any trained firefighter would call a dead end. Sure enough, at the end of that passage, he found a delivery chute. Holding the girl tightly, he slid down to safety. That day, the man who was supposed to die in the fire changed his fate. But that small twist of destiny would go on to trigger a chain of events spanning the next 30 years. Just after saving the girl from the burning building and getting ready to escape on the ladder.
What the hell is going on?
Frank, the ladder's jammed! The ladder's jammed, Frank! You gotta find another way out!
Frank had no choice but to look for another way out. But just as he hesitated, unsure which way to go, he suddenly remembered what John had said the night before.
If you'd just gone the other way, you would have made it.
So, he made a choice that no professional firefighter would ever make. He took what seemed to be a dead end. Sure enough, Frank found a delivery chute there. He slid down with the girl, escaping the inferno safely. The man who was supposed to die in that fire had, through an unexpected cross-time conversation with his son, rewritten his fate. Yet, that small change would go on to set off a chain of events spanning the next 30 years. Meanwhile, just like every year, John was gathering with friends on the anniversary of Frank's death to honor his memory. Suddenly, his mind was flooded with memories he had never had before. John quickly realized that last night's conversation must have changed his father's destiny.
My father didn't die in a fire.
Huh?
My father didn't die in a fire.
Oh, what are you talking about, John? He had cancer.
It turned out that Frank had passed away from lung cancer 10 years ago. Still, he had altered history and that filled John with joy. It meant he could keep trying to change things, to save his father again and again, until they could finally meet in the same timeline.
It's a ham radio. It's how come he didn't die, huh?
John rushed home and dug out newspapers from 30 years ago. Sure enough, the headline that once reported Frank's death in the fire had changed. It now told the story of his heroic rescue of a young girl. At that moment, John noticed words slowly appearing on the surface of his desk.
Hello?
John? John Sullivan?
It's me.
You're the voice of an angel. Reached right out of heaven and you pulled my butt out of the fire.
Tell me I'm not dreaming here. Tell me it's really you.
It's me, John.
What hell could it be?
I don't know. Well, we gotta be talking off the mother-son spot of old time.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You okay, Chief?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So how old are you?
I'm 36.
You're all grown up. You gotta be married and everything.
The time-crossing rescue left both father and son in awe and wonder. But John wasn't satisfied. He wanted to see his father in person. so he urged Frank to quit smoking.
Oh, come on, your grandfather, he smoked, what, 2 packs a day, and he's still kicking.
Not you. It's gonna get the better of you. Now you, go ahead. You, get some rest. I'm tired too.
I almost don't want to click off here. Like, maybe we won't get this back. I love you, son.
I've missed you so much.
After hanging up, John immediately called his mother, eager to tell her about this unbelievable experience.
Oh, Mom.
That was Ellie.
Oh, sorry.
He thought he must have dialed the wrong number, but when he tried again, it was still the same restaurant order hotline. John had no choice but to find his girlfriend, hoping she might know where his mother was.
Sam, I gotta talk to you.
Well, how do you know my name? Who are you?
Who am I?
That's when John realized that saving his father had completely altered the future. With no other choice, he returned to the police station to handle a serial murder case that had just seen another victim. The killer targeted nurses, with 10 victims spanning 30 years. John suddenly realized that this future had been rewritten too. He clearly remembered there being only 3 victims. As he went through the case files, he froze.
No.
His mother's photo and name were among the victims. He is working on a serial murder case. The killer targets nurses and has already claimed 10 victims over the past 30 years. But John suddenly realizes that this future has been altered because of his time-crossing efforts to save his father. He clearly remembers that there were only 3 victims, while going through the case files.
No.
He discovered that his mother's personal information was also in there. Although John saved his father, it also led to the deaths of more people. He rushes home, hoping to once again use the radio to have a time-crossing conversation with his father and change this outcome.
Dad, you there?
Dad, I need you to be there.
Yeah, Chief. I'm coming.
Mom, something happened to her.
Your mom, what?
She's not here. She died, but it's like it just happened though.
She died? Your mom just died?
No, it happened a long time ago.
John explains to Frank the reason why the future has been rewritten. His father, who was supposed to die in a fire, escaped death due to their time-crossing conversation. As a result, his mother, who was supposed to handle his father's affairs after his death, ended up working overtime at the hospital. While there, she happened to witness a patient being injected with an overdose of medication. The person his mother saved was none other than the killer, who was supposed to have died in a medical accident. This led to the later murders of 7 people, including his mother.
When?
October 22nd, 1969.
That's now, Johnny. That's next week.
She was murdered.
Murdered? What are you talking about?
Listen to me. There was this case. A serial. They never caught him, but he murdered 3 women, all nurses. They call him the Nightingale.
The Nightingale? We've been watching that on the news. I was worried about your mother.
Dad, we did something. Something to make it worse.
I'm gonna take her away from here, Johnny. I have to take her away from here. He cannot hurt her if I take her away from here.
What about the others?
I warned them.
That'll never work. They'll just think you're crazy.
But I gotta do something. You don't even know what this guy looks like.
No,
you
because
don't know who he is.
Nobody got any.
At this moment, John
Hold
suddenly
on.
recalls
Wait
that
a
although
minute.
he doesn't know what the killer looks like, the case files contain detailed information about the victims and how they were killed.
They will if they catch him in the act. And you can make that happen, Dad.
No, Johnny. I don't know about. I don't know. I'm a firefighter.
Well, I'm a
not
cop. This
don't
is
know
what
how to
I do, and this is something we have to do.
What if the ham stops working? What if I can't reach you?
Then you get Mom the hell out. But Dad, those other women were not supposed to die. If we don't do something and try to stop this guy, we're gonna have to live with that for the rest of our lives.
Okay, tell me what to do.
With the information John provided, Frank goes to the bar where the nurse, who was supposed to be killed at 8 p.m. After keeping watch there all night, the nurse's victim file indeed disappears the next day.
He did it.
That night, the father and son team up again for their rescue plan. John warns his father to be cautious. The killer's ability to commit multiple murders without being caught shows that he is extremely intelligent, and he may have already noticed Frank's strange behavior. Sure enough, just when his father went to the restroom.
You following me? Huh? You following me?
Frank was ambushed by the killer and quickly passed out. The killer not only sees his mother's face, but also takes the driver's license with their home address from Frank's wallet. Then, he prepares to end his father's life right then and there. Through the cross-time conversation with his son, Frank learns the location where the next victim will appear ahead of time. He arrives at the scene right on time and stays close to the victim, making sure the killer has no chance to strike. But just as he steps away to use the restroom,
You following me? Huh? You following me? I asked you a question, asshole.
the killer not only sees what his wife looks like, but also takes the driver's license from his wallet, which has their home address on it. Then he tries to kill Frank on the spot.
Whoa. Dude, what happened to him?
Bad trip, man. A little time kissing the porcelain, he'll be fine, you know what I'm saying?
I understand that.
Alright, come on, pal.
Frank narrowly survives. But when he wakes up, he discovers that the victim was still killed after all. The father and son rescue plan not only fails, it also hands the killer their home address.
Johnny's got my driver's license.
What?
He took my driver's license. He knows where we live.
He took your wallet?
Yeah, well, he tossed the wallet, but he kept the license.
But this also gives John a crucial lead to track down the killer.
Oh, God, we got him, Dad. You got him.
What?
You got his prints.
John immediately tells his father to seal the wallet in a plastic bag and hide it somewhere safe at home. This way, John 30 years later will be able to retrieve the wallet with the killer's fingerprints on it.
We're in business. Now just sit tight and don't worry.
Yet when the fingerprint results come back, the entire police department is stunned. The killer who murdered multiple people turns out to be a highly respected veteran police officer.
What the hell?
Blinded by anger, John confronts the murderer directly.
We all have skeletons in the closet. You just never know when they're gonna pop up and bite you in the ass. Huh, Jack? Stealing your life away. You went down 30 years ago, pal. You just don't know it yet.
Just as John reveals the killer's true identity to his father, the police arrive at Frank's door. They have found Frank's driver's license at the victim's home, making him the prime suspect. On top of that, Frank has been frequently communicating with someone over a radio, leading the police to reasonably suspect an organized operation.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
During the struggle, the radio that allows cross-time communication is knocked to the ground, and the father and son completely lose contact. The officer in charge doesn't want to believe that a heroic firefighter like Frank could be a serial killer. But after hearing Frank claim that he can communicate with his future son across time, and even insist that the real murderer is a police officer, the officer becomes convinced that Frank is mentally unstable. To prove that the time-spanning conversations are real, Frank uses information John gave him earlier to accurately predict the score and every detail of the next baseball game.
This is insane, Frank.
As if Jones and Swoboda, they're gonna score the 8th. The Mets, they're gonna win that game 5-3. Now, you go watch that game. If it don't happen, I'm a liar.
Go watch the game.
Yeah.
Go watch
the game.
Frank, they're gonna make you for Sissy Clark's murder. And they're gonna match that with the Nightingale murders. Do you understand what that means? Yeah?
His wife is here. She wants to talk to you.
Meanwhile, John also discovers news reports from 30 years ago showing that his father became a suspect in a series of murders. But now, he can no longer reach him. All he can do is hope that Frank will clear his name and catch the real killer. As the officer explains the case to Frank's wife, his attention is drawn to the baseball game playing live behind him. He wants to see whether the outcome truly matches Frank's prediction. But at that very moment, the killer uses his status as a police officer to enter the interrogation room. He immediately pulls out a weapon, preparing to kill Frank to silence him. The serial killer who had murdered several people used his position as a police officer to enter the interrogation room. He immediately grabbed his weapon, intending to take out the only remaining witness.
Hey, how you doing? What's up in here? Go fight Satch. Shut up, asshole. Jack Shepperton.
You want me to take this
He's
outside?
trying to kill me. Go fight Satch. Fight Satch. He's trying to kill me.
When the killer stepped out for a moment, Frank quickly came up with a plan to save himself. He tore some wires from the wall, pulled out the copper strands inside, and tied them to the metal grate and the door handle. Then he poured a cup of tea on the floor near the door, held one end of the wire in his hand, and waited. When the killer came back again, seeing the killer knocked unconscious by the electric shock, Frank quickly took his wallet and wrote down his home address. Then, using a can of insect spray, he triggered the fire alarm's automatic sprinkler system. Amid the chaos in the station, he managed to escape. Frank headed straight to the killer's house to look for evidence, because this mad killer had a twisted obsession. He liked to keep the victim's personal belongings as souvenirs. Sure enough, Frank found a box by the doorway, filled with the incriminating evidence he needed. But before he could take it, the killer came home earlier than expected and caught Frank in the act. The box was smashed, scattering everything across the floor. With no other choice, Frank ran for his life as the killer chased after him relentlessly. Fortunately, as a firefighter, his physical strength and endurance were far superior. When the killer followed him to the docks, Frank had already vanished. Frank dragged the killer into the water, then pulled a steel nail from a wooden post and knocked him out. Meanwhile, the police arrived at the killer's home. Seeing the victim's belongings scattered everywhere, they finally realized Frank had been telling the truth. Back home, Frank picked up the broken radio. He wanted to use this final night before the Aurora disappeared to have one last conversation with his son 30 years in the future. When his wife handed him a pack of cigarettes, he suddenly remembered John's warning.
It's gonna get the better of you.
As Frank repaired the radio, the device on John's side also began to recover.
John, are you there?
I'm here, Dad. I'm here.
Once they reconnected, John learned that the killer was dead, but he was puzzled. The future still hadn't changed.
Well, if we stopped him, why isn't Mom here? Why don't I remember her being okay?
But I killed him.
He's dead.
My turn to steal your life away.
John, are you there?
Huh?